you been standing out here on the porch? An hour? Why didn't you call me? Well, of course I was gonna come home eventually. That's not the point. It could have been hours before I did. If I'd known you were here waiting at the house, I would have come straight home. Why didn't you just tell me you were coming by? Come on. Can't believe you were just sitting out here this whole time. It doesn't matter if the weather's nice. That's not the point. You shouldn't. Come on, get in here. You stubborn little. Come with me to the kitchen. Take a seat. Where did I put There you are. Here. What does it look like? It's the key to the house. If I can't convince you to just ask me where I'm at, least I can do is make sure you're not stuck out there on the porch for who knows how long. Well, go on. Take it. Darling, I want you to have it. Thank you. So, what brought you by? Well, I appreciate you checking on me. I'm doing alright. All things considered. Hanging in there. I'll admit I'm grateful for the company. No, I wasn't driving anywhere in particular. Which is all the more reason why you should have just called me. I would have turned straight around and come back here. I know you can wait. That doesn't mean you should have to. No. I was just driving. It's a habit I got into back in the day. Found it could help clear my head. Not driving anywhere in particular, just driving. Something about it would always just help me think. Given the circumstances of my turn-in, there was a while where I wasn't too comfortable getting out on the road anymore. Quite a while, matter of fact. But I decided that that wasn't something I was going to let my turn-in take away from me. Lord knows it took enough already. I wasn't going to take that form of solace from me too. So, when my head starts acting up as it's prone to do, looping over the same shit again and again as if that makes any kind of difference, well, I drive. Let the streetlights pass over me while I Try to think myself out of the hole I thought myself into. No, it didn't help with this one. This is one of those things that only time is gonna fix. That night, it almost doesn't feel real. Everything that happened, the things I saw, I was a healer. I saw some awful shit in my time. And I learned ways to compartmentalize and lock parts of me down so I could get the job done. In chaos like that, you need people who are steady. They all needed someone to be steady, to be the anchor. I could be that. So I was. I didn't let myself feel all those things as they were happening because I couldn't. If I had, you just can't. You have to push it down and push it away and leave it there until later. Until you're out of the danger zone. But later is now. And my mind's all too eager to let me know that. I keep thinking about how things could have gone. I just keep spinning in the what ifs, and I hate that. I hate. It didn't happen. What didn't happen, so it shouldn't fucking matter, but it could have. And that's enough for my mind to lock onto it like it's gospel. I think of the people we lost, and I think about what I could have done different. If I'd been faster, or I think about how I could have helped more people if I'd never been turned in the first place. If I still had all my healing powers that I lost. But then I tell myself that for once, being a vampire helped me do even more good. I was able to use those abilities to stop harm from happening in the first place, instead of only being able to fix it once it already happened. I hold on to that. And I scream that at myself in my own head. I just keep saying I did everything I could. I did good. But somehow that whisper in the back of my mind is louder than anything I could ever scream. And that voice telling me I could have done more. I could have saved lives down in the underground. I could have healed Asher faster, so I could have been at Vincent's side so that Shade never got a hold of his partner, or I should have saved my energy so I could be the one that turned them, and Vincent wouldn't have to take that on. He wouldn't have to be a maker, but I'd already needed all my strength to heal Asher. And then I started thinking about that. Thinking about seeing him torn to shreds. Blood everywhere. And David just holding him. And I see those tears running down through the dirt and the blood on his face. And this pillar of a man brought to his knees, holding his friend, begging the world not to take this from him. Not when he'd already lost so much. And I think about Vincent. If it had all gone differently and I'd been in David's place, with Vincent the one on the edge of death, if I'd been the one about to lose a part of my family, dying in my arms, and I don't know what's worse, being trapped in that loop, wondering what I would have done, how I would have felt, or thinking about what actually did happen. Having to stand there, not able to do anything but just be there. Well, Vincent and them had to make that choice. In the middle of the worst night imaginable, with barely any time to decide, they had to choose. The same day that they got celebrated for the amazing strength of their powers they got out of horrible torture at the hands of a fucking sadist monster. Powers they fought tooth and nail to learn and master, and now barely a year later they get snatched away because it's that or die. And now Vincent has to be a maker. Not just any maker, he's his partner's maker, and that's... I just keep spinning. It doesn't matter if I'm driving or running or cooking a meal or standing in the shower. It feels like I can't get a moment's peace. And at this point, that's all I want. Even just a minute where I'm free of all this. Because if I can make it a minute, I can make it 2. And if I can make it 2, I can make it 10. And then someday it'll just be a thing that happened that I sometimes think about. It won't be the thing that I can't get away from. It's like my turning all over again, but it's so much bigger than just me this time around. And I know it'll be alright eventually. It always is. I've made it through things before. I can make it through this, but there are times when it's hard to remember what it even felt like before all this. And the longer it goes feeling like this, that peace I had before starts to feel like more and more of a memory that's fading away. And it gets you scared that someday you won't even remember what the old you felt like. Can we go sit somewhere I can hold you proper? Right about now, I really think I need that. Thank you, darling. Come here. Things feel at least a little better when you're here. Thank you for that. And for coming to check up on me. You didn't have to do that, but I'm grateful you did. But what about you? How have you been holding up? Half the damn people you know in this town were stuck inside that ward. Worrying for all of us is its own kind of hell. And the aftershocks of that don't just go away overnight. Even if we did all make it out alive. I'm not deflecting, darling. I'm asking you, honestly, how are you? Because I want to know. And I want to help if I can. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Things like this have a way of changing our perspectives a bit. And our priorities. Things that seemed like such a big deal before don't feel so big in light of almost losing everybody. I don't think I'll ever forget that look in your eye when you found me after the ward fell. Or how it felt to see you standing there. To hold you after that hell. that it was real. That I was still here. That I really had made it. And that everything that had happened, that had been real too. In one sense, it was like a weight was lifted off of me. I didn't have to be the anchor anymore. It was just us. I could let myself feel again. Because I was with you. But those feelings I'd been putting away hit me like a flood tide when I set them free. And you let me. And you held me. And you kept my head above the water even when I thought I couldn't. You're a safe harbor to me. I love Vincent like a brother, and I know how much William cares, but it's not the same. I haven't felt safe in this way in 15 years. You feel like home, darling. And that means more than you know to someone like me. I wasn't sure I'd ever find home again. But I feel it with you. I don't mean to scare you by saying that. I don't know if that's too much, but it's the truth. And I can't bring myself to be anything less than honest with you. Mate. You mean that? You feel that for me? No. That doesn't scare me. I'm honored. I don't claim to have any kind of way with words. I'm not the best at buttoning things up with pretty prose. I'm not a poet, but I'm a man who feels things deep. And I keep these walls high, so those feelings can't get the better of me, but you climbed over them. And you're in here. I love you, darling. Deeply. You don't know what it means to hear you say that back. feels so right. Like I didn't know it could. I love you. I know I said I needed this to go slow. And I appreciate you so much for respecting that. It means the world to me to have you understand how I was feeling. But I came too close to losing everything to keep wasting my time. I can't let the hurt I've had keep me from being close to you in every sense. I don't want to look back someday and know that I didn't take every chance to feel that kind of joy with you. Because, god damn it, we've earned some joy in this fucking life. And I want to bring that to you. I'm ready. If you'll have me.